Yo, what's going on, guys? So, today we have some pretty interesting things to talk about from Christopher Landon himself. He had just spoke and talked about how he got to direct Scream 7, how he got the option, and how he became the director. So, Christopher Landon just explained it here. So, I'm going to talk about some of this information. And so, yeah, like, subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new, I'd really appreciate it. And we're just going to dive right into this. So, Christopher Landon right here says Christopher Landon reveals how he became the new director of Scream 7. It came out of nowhere for me. The old directors wanted to do something new. Kevin Williamson, who has been my friend for a long time, suggested my name. When I got the call, I was thrilled. It felt like it was destined. And so Christopher Landon basically saying, he became the director for Scream 7. It came out of nowhere. The old directors, referring to Radio Silence, they wanted to do something new, because they have their other projects that they're working on. And, they wanted to pass that directing spot for somebody else. And Kevin Williamson, who is Christopher Landon's friend as well, Christopher Landon is saying that they had been friends, and he thinks Kevin Williamson suggested his name. And whenever he got the call to be the director, he was thrilled about it and whatnot. And I think that's cool because if that's the case, that, Kevin Williamson, because I'm maybe because like that probably was the case. Kevin Williamson could have, he could have been the one to be like, hey, maybe we can pick Christopher Landon. Maybe we can, he can be our new director for Scream 7. That could have been what Kevin Williamson was saying. And, maybe whoever he was, discussing this with could have been like, yeah, this is a good idea. So let's try to get Christopher Landon. That could have been the case. So I think that's interesting because, so Christopher Landon clearly has a connection with Kevin Williamson. So Kevin Williamson, it feels like he could have been the reason Christopher Landon got chose as the director. And that Radio Silence, as I said before, they've already been wanting to move on with their other projects that they couldn't film. So now that Scream 7 is going to be coming out, Radio Silence had to work on the other films first and couldn't just put those films on hold just for Scream 7. So it was clear that they wanted to move on and pass the torch to another director. So Radio Silence, essentially, they left, and now we got Christopher Landon. He's the director, and Kevin Williamson may have been the reason for that, as Christopher Landon is, saying. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty interesting news. And we also have something else that I'm going to be talking about. It's like the full thing that I guess Christopher Landon had said in this clip. It comes from Critical Overlord. I had just seen it. And so pretty much there is like this little video. I haven't even seen the full thing. It's like a 1 minute 15-second clip, but I'm gonna show you guys what Christopher Landon said from because like Critical Overlord, he just posted it on his Twitter. So it says right here from Critical Overlord that Christopher Landon explains how he got the opportunity to direct Scream 7. It came out of the blue for me. My understanding is that there were conversations happening for some time, but I think it was just an opportunity that really arose because the other directors who did the last two films, Tyler and Matt, they wanted to do something else. They were kind of ready to do something different. That's when they obviously had to find someone new. And I've known Kevin Williamson, who wrote the original film, for a long time. And he's and he's a friend. And, I think he threw my name into the hat, and everyone kind of said, yeah, that makes sense. That seems to make sense. And I was just thrilled that I got that call because it felt very like kismet. I don't know what that word means, but it felt like a thing that was always meant to be. So that's what Christopher Landon said from this 1 minute clip. I think it's somewhere on YouTube. I'm going to watch it after to see the full thing. But basically, yeah, so, you know, I'm going to watch the full video. But basically, Christopher Landon is just, you know, telling us that he got the opportunity, and you know, Kevin Williamson may have been the reason for that, as Christopher Landon suggests here. But either way, you know, like I said, it still feels great that Christopher Landon is also a fan of the franchise, just like Radio Silence was. Matt and Tyler, they've said it many times that they were a fan of the franchise. And so is Christopher Landon. So, you know, Christopher Landon isn't just someone who isn't a fan of the franchise and is just coming in to direct Scream 7. He is a fan of the franchise. So, you know, going from Tyler and Matt, who are also fans of the franchise, to Christopher Landon, who also is a fan of the franchise, it feels great. So, yeah, I think Christopher Landon, you know, just the way he's talking about Scream 7, directing it, and how excited he is and his passion for these movies. I think, you know, I think Christopher Landon, he can do a great job. And I've said that before. So let me know what you guys think, though, about all of this. And yeah, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I've said before, you know, it does kind of suck that Radio Silence didn't get to finish their trilogy. But at the end of the day, I still think Christopher Landon can do a good job as a director. And, you know, let's just see what he can do in the director's chair, being in that position. Let's see what kind of stuff he can work with and give him a shot, give him a chance. So, you know, I feel like Christopher Landon, he can do a good job. And, you know, Radio Silence, they can be working on their other films, you know, their monster films and all the other movies that they are planning to work on. And, you know, we could support them as well, meanwhile, while also supporting Scream 7. So, yeah, that's basically, because that's what I'm going to be doing, you know. And I'm going to, you know, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. Supporting Radio Silence with their other films and still supporting Scream 7, even with the new director. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think, though, about all this information. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!